Welcome to the Happiness Matters podcast with me, your coach, Julia Seal, where we explore the puzzle of whole being happiness as professional women in our midlife, how to coach ourselves and live into the best version of ourselves, resilient, creative, and thriving, no matter what. Welcome to the Happiness Matters podcast. I'm Julia Seal, your host and coach, and like you, a professional woman in the middle of my life. In this welcome episode, I'll introduce you to what this podcast and Happiness Matters is all about, and of course, what I mean exactly when I say resilient, creative, and thriving, from puzzled to happy in midlife, and whole being happiness no matter what. If you're a first-time listener, a big welcome. And first of all, don't get overwhelmed by what you see on your podcast player. There's a lot of episodes already. Start right now, wherever you are. Today, I'm just going to talk about what the podcast is all about overall, a little bit about the 3 series, and then right at the end, some more about me. Do remember to subscribe to the podcast in your podcast player so you get notified of all the latest episodes automatically. And remember, you can sign up to my coaching notes on my website, Happiness-Matters.coach. That's where everything is. Okay, so the first thing to know about this podcast is that it's both a coaching journey and a happiness journey for you in your midlife. It's a journey with me through your midlife, from the unique experience of menopause and the various puzzles caused by the transitions and changes in your life over this time, into your next phase, the rest of your life, the best of your life on the other side. Coming up to 50, turning 50, and the years following are an opportunity to reflect on your life so far and to decide how you want to move forward into your 60s and beyond. You know, perhaps it's gone well up until now. You're successful, strong, and mostly happy, but you're wondering what's next for you. Or perhaps your life hasn't gone as well as your young self imagined, and you're seeing this as a chance to change direction, even shift your very identity in your career, in your family, even in how you look after yourself, how you are in the world. Menopause itself is a huge phase of change that we're lucky enough to go through as women. Yeah, I do mean lucky. Just like puberty and pregnancy, our bodies and brains go through profound changes. And these physical changes spark yet more change, deeper, more lasting shifts, emotional, mental, spiritual. So much change, actually, that your midlife is the most incredible opportunity to use as a metamorphosis experience for yourself. No wonder it's called a midlife crisis or middle pause, your second adolescence, mid-adolescence, the next phase. Your very being, your wiring, is now supporting you to do this. The biochemical and physical changes, as well as midlife's big events like death and divorce, illness, retirement, empty nests, aging parents, and all the emotions that go with them, actually set you up for change to be easier than ever. Midlife is your best opening to go from stuck and puzzled to your deepest happiness, the best you've ever had in your life. It's your time now to build your inner power and resilience, to craft your deepest whole being happiness, your very own version of happiness, to ensure you don't regret the years past, to build your legacy for others and contribute to the world in a whole new way. It's your time to venture on a new journey beyond your current self, embracing and loving all of who you are today to live into your best self, your whole self. So what Happiness Matters is all about, and what we're doing here on the podcast, is exploring our midlife as professional women around the world, all of us. We're exploring what it means to be in the middle of our lives and what's next for us. We're on a coaching journey, a happiness journey together, to explore how you can put all this knowledge, your own life, my clients' favorite tools, and coaching with me to good use in your life. A way to navigate this next journey, a way to embrace whatever life throws at you with equanimity and grace, to thrive in midlife, creating your very own jigsaw puzzle of whole being happiness. So we'll look at topics specific to midlife, many of them painful, like our aging brains and dissatisfaction with our midlife relationships and our desire for more meaningful connections, the overwhelm and sadness of caring for our aging parents, boredom and exhaustion with our work, and the changing relationships with our children as they become adults, as well as our own shifting identity. We'll look at the nature of happiness, the truth of happiness, how our brains are actually wired for hedonistic happiness, and how we can take advantage of this purposefully and intentionally. How the science of happiness can help us choose what's best to focus on. How to reinvent and re-envision your midlife so you're crafting your own version of whole being happiness. And we'll look at the profound nature of happiness, how our difficulties and issues are our very best guides on our happiness journey to that passionate, heartfelt calling to something more, something bigger, more profound and meaningful for your life. And along the way, we'll build resilience in all areas of your life, addressing the inevitable cracks that have formed as you've lived your life. We reconstruct midlife and all that it means to you, reinventing happiness and revitalizing your life. And then we expand this deepest happiness so you're thriving. Together, we'll go beyond what you currently believe possible for yourself as a midlife professional woman of the world. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? And there's more. I explore how you can free your mind and unwind your problems, build your life energy, tap into your own innate wisdom, and connect deeply to your life's purpose. I'll introduce my process of puzzling your way to midlife happiness, your puzzling journey in all senses of the word, going from puzzled and confused, stuck, bored, unhappy, and in emotional pain, to creating, crafting your very own jigsaw puzzle picture of your deepest happiness, your lived whole being happiness. I share a way for you to easily access the power of coaching, transforming the difficulties of your life through coaching with me. I offer you my most effective practices, skills, and tools from the world of coaching, and I show you my simple and easy way to coach yourself. Yes, coach yourself. It's practical and powerful for your life every day. I look at how you can hack your own brain for happiness with tools backed up by scientific research, and how to take the best from the world's wisdom on the pursuit of happiness, from Aristotle and Buddha to Nelson Mandela and the new happiness revolution. And then how to integrate all of this with all that you are right now, that you are in your midlife, embracing everything that you are so far, your successes and failures, your joys and disappointments, the beauty and uniqueness of you. The idea, the very heart of Happiness Matters, is that with me as your coach and fellow traveler and adventurer, you can cultivate a very special kind of happiness, midlife happiness. Not toxic positivity, not a positive thinking whitewash over everything and anything unpleasant or negative, but a purposeful, intentional commitment to bring forth and live into the greatness of who you are, who we all are as women of this world. Whole being happiness in midlife, no matter what, awakens us to this calling. And I want to be with you on this journey, helping you solve what's puzzling you and helping you create a new, exciting, delightful jigsaw puzzle picture of your happiness, useful tools, new skills, meta skills, fresh ideas, unusual insights, different perspectives, and coaching together every step of the way so you can bring to life, integrate, and deeply embed the changes you want in this next phase of your life. We're now going into Series 3 in the podcast, and if you're new, please don't get overwhelmed by this. Series 1 and Series 2 and Series 3 is really a process that you can use to self-coach your way on this journey. But you can start right here where I am right now. Now, Series 1 covers the very first phase of the jigsaw puzzle happiness journey and the first steps in how to coach yourself. It's all about how you're choosing to define, assess, and vision your midlife happiness. I like to think of Series 1 as the outer edges of your midlife happiness puzzle. And you'll find that there are 56 episodes in Series 1, and it sounds like a lot for a puzzle outline. But there are 6 core episodes, and the rest, all other 50, add depth and richness to inspire you with food for thought and to spark your curiosity. How do you want to think about, dream about, and define your midlife happiness and what it can be going forward? It's also an exploration into what to do about unhappiness, the negative emotions you really don't want to feel right now. All of these episodes assist you in defining your goal, a robust definition of your happiness, one that's worth your while pursuing and directing your life towards. We all want happiness. It's what we search for. And Series 1 is your way to ensure that you don't get stuck on the treadmill of hedonistic pleasure seeking that our brains are wired to crave. Instead, you're crafting your own unique version, one that is well worth your while. Series 2 adds the corners to your happiness jigsaw puzzle, the 4 essential corners that hold everything together. And it's about brain management. So it's what's next after your first defining, assessing, and visioning step. The next step in how to coach yourself on your midlife happiness journey from resilient to thriving. And here I walk you through the 4 basics of how to manage your midlife brain, delving into the tools and meta skills to strengthen your resilience by actually using your brain on purpose and intentionally. We dip into meditation and mindfulness, the think, feel, act patterns that run your life behind the scenes and beyond your everyday awareness, your mind-body connection, and how your brain's actual structure sets you up for happiness and unhappiness. And now that we have the basics of these 4 in place, so the basics of creating inner resilience, we're now heading into our next big adventure, Series 3. And this is about what's in the middle of your happiness jigsaw puzzle. We've got the outer edges, the 4 corners, and it's what's in the middle, the picture inside, the space inside. And what's in the center? Well, our midlife middle-age spread and the muffin tops might be there. Well, all the models from the science of happiness inform this middle section. They're insights into what to prioritize in the middle of your jigsaw puzzle, the ingredients that are known to contribute to our whole being happiness. However, I'm not limiting us to just one of these models, whether it's PERMA or PERC or SPIRE or others. Rather, during the pandemic and post-pandemic months of coaching with you, an additional way of seeing whole being happiness in midlife has been unfolding for me, one that is unique to our times. And it's a way of interbeing, of seeing our entire midlife whole being happiness through the lens of relationship. 3 core relationships to our midlife whole being happiness. They lie at the very center of our unfinished jigsaw puzzle. 3 core relationships intertwined like one of those beautiful Russian wedding rings. 3 core relationships where everything is interconnected, everything is related to everything else. Interbeing. We're in relationship to and with everything outside of us and everything inside of us. So we're in relationship with other humans, our partner, our mother, father, dead relatives, our children, grandchildren, close friends, work colleagues. We're in relationship to everything outside of us, the earth and all its creatures, and our role in the world, our purpose and our contribution. And then the most essential in all of this, we're in relationship with and to ourselves, all parts of ourselves, our spiritual self, our physical self, our subtle self, our emotional self, our intellectual self, and our past self, who we are right now, our current self and our future self. In fact, all versions of our future self. The science of happiness is not wrong. In fact, all the models from the science of happiness tell us that relationships are the number one, the crux, the biggest contributor to whole being happiness. But I'm viewing how we craft whole being as something more than a compilation of happiness ingredients, more than a scientific formula of happiness tools. But instead, what lies in the middle of our puzzle piece is the unique artwork of our individual lives, an interwoven creative play of relationships into being. So through series 3 on the podcast, we're going to be unpacking these 3 core relationships, unpacking the inner puzzle piece through the lens of these 3 core relationships. If you like what you hear and want to expand on the basics introduced here on the podcast, please do sign up for my coaching notes on the website Happiness-Matters.coach. And then if you want to go deeper and coach with me personally on your own specific midlife difficulties, go to the website. Right at the top, you'll see a yellow puzzle piece. Click on that yellow button, Coach with Julia. Here you can go ahead and set up a free mini session with me this week, so we can get to know each other. Okay, so that's all about the journey through the podcast. But you might be interested in whose happiness matters and who am I, that I can be talking about resilient and creative, thriving, from puzzled to happy in midlife, even whole being happiness no matter what. Well, to start with, I wear a few professional hats that might interest you. I am a consultant in employee engagement, and I work with organizations on strategies to engage their people authentically and sustainably. So, whole being happiness in the workplace, basically. And I'm really fortunate to work with companies that are recognized as best practice organizations worldwide. They're doing amazing stuff. In this work, I've spent a lot of time exploring and understanding what motivates you at work, from strong trust relationships to purposeful work, whatever your professional skill set. And what's become so obvious to me over the last 30 years or so is that these management words, engagement, innovation, ownership, just cannot happen without our own personal happiness in our jobs, in our homes, every day. So I then expanded my employee engagement work to include coaching, where I could work with individuals to explore deeper, more personal concerns that affect motivation and happiness, how your cognitive energy, emotional energy, physical, mental, even spiritual energy influences how happy and successful you are in your life as a whole. And I chose this route for my career because coaching is such an effective tool in change, especially in growing and evolving ourselves. It is a powerful, thought-provoking partnership between me and you. It's a creative process that enables you to break free from old patterns and inspires you to step into your full potential. I've been working as a leadership coach to executives and academics for the last 14 or 15 years. I'm an integral coach. I'm also a relationship systems coach and a certified life coach. And on top of all of that, I'm accredited as a professional coach with the ICF, the International Coach Federation. Of course, there's much more to my career story, from graduating and starting out as a journalist, working with companies from Japan to UK to Namibia, and a 17,000-mile road trip across the United States and living in 5 African countries. It's all on the website if you want more details. But Happiness Matters is more than just what I've experienced in my consulting and coaching work. It is also a deeply personal journey and how I've explored and am still exploring the nature of my own happiness. From an unexpected and very painful divorce, lots of family drama, and a midlife hearing disability, to creating a life filled with nature, meditation, and a lot of coaching myself every day. I am honored to have met the Dalai Lama. I am endlessly curious why we love communicating through the emoji family. I look for smiley shapes in gridlock traffic, and I photograph the same beach every time I drive by. I'm fascinated with our ongoing pursuit of happiness, and I am deeply passionate about the worldwide happiness revolution. I currently live in Cape Town, South Africa, with my Scottish husband Fraser, who you can hear on the outro. He looks after all the technical aspects of Happiness Matters, and my stepson Thomas, as well as my huge dog Yeti, who you've probably already heard barking in the background, because he has a lot to say about happiness and midlife wisdom. And of course, I am a menopausal woman in midlife. Well, actually, I'm a post-menopausal woman. I've been through menopause and I'm well beyond the big 50. And for me, menopause was a rocky ride. I was newly into my second marriage. I'd become a stepmother. I demolished my little beach cottage to build a home for us all, and I forgot how to sleep. The roller coaster of declining hormones saw an inexplicable weight gain. I mean, how can all those years of ordinary eating suddenly turn into a sneaky 15 Ks or 30 pounds? Where did those wrinkles come from, and where have my eyelashes gone? And such mental fog. And then my father died, and my aged mum came to live with us. So these midlife transitions became a unique opportunity for my own evolution, an opportunity to look at everything I was up to that point and to choose on purpose and intentionally how I wanted to step forward. An opportunity that so many of us miss in the busyness of normal life until you wake up another 10 years down the line wondering where your life went and why you're so dissatisfied, even regretful. And this is what I want for you as a professional woman navigating your own midlife transition. To grab this next phase as the best opportunity ever to create happiness for yourself, deep contentment inside, to fix and create relationships that feed you on every level of your being, and to pivot your work in the world so that you're spending your time, your precious human life, doing work that is meaningful, where you're making a meaningful contribution and living into the wholeness of your life with all the passion of your being. So on this podcast and in coaching together, I will share with you what I've learned and applied in my own life and with my clients, as Happiness Matters is my journey as well as the journey of my clients, and now I hope it's your journey with me too. There really is no better time to do this coaching, this exploring, this evolving whole being happiness, sacred happiness in midlife together. My friends, welcome. And may you be happy, may you be free. There is no better time to be together. Bye for now, and I'll see you in Series 3.
Thank you for joining us on this Happiness Matters podcast, coaching your whole being happiness in midlife. To join Julia for more of her midlife conversations, subscribe for free to her coaching notes by email and to this podcast. Search for Happiness Matters in Midlife to find us in your favourite podcast player app. Once you're subscribed, both of these will be delivered to your device automatically. To find all of this, click the subscribe menu of our website, Happiness-Matters.coach. That's Happiness-Matters.coach. COACH. And thanks again for listening.